Hello everyone. As promised, the English Literature Education channel is back with a full-flown debate, a freestyle debate on the word literature. So we are going to see in this debate how everybody opines about literature, and we are going to see various definitions given by scholars, also given by the panelists who are sitting with me. So first of all, before we sleep into the debate, I am going to introduce every one of the panelists to you. So, just besides me is Rahul. He is a higher secondary teacher in a government school, and he Chandan. He is also a higher secondary teacher in a government school, and he is Manish. He is my younger brother and a student of economics at Magad University, both here. So now we'll start the debate. But before we start the debate, where people can counter each other, we'll give opinions to everyone. So everyone can speak for 30 to 40 seconds about literature, whatever he feels. So I will start with Rahul.
All set of thinking, poetry.
Yeah, poetry is certainly a part of literature. So you can take your time. You can take your time. So I think he
has many ideas in his mind and many chaotic ideas, so he's taking a little time before finalizing his ideas. So I'll give you some time. So I'll now get back to Chandan.
In my opinion, literature is all about the communication of thoughts, any type of thoughts, ideas, feelings, either in written form or in verbal form. Whatever I think, that you may share transaction of very personal message between individuals. It may be in form of written works, literary text, promotional literature, or any type of literature. Uh, so you can say that the transaction of personal views, feelings, ideas, thoughts, either in written form or in verbal form.
The basic argument of Chandan is that transaction of personal thoughts
And
it amounts to literature.
and communication is literature.
Okay.
No matter any language.
Yeah.
Literature.
So Manish.
Yes, in my view, literacy is all about ideas. The already coded work, great works. When we say great works, it means that works should have certain intellectual values and should serve certain purposes, either it is social, ethical, or moral. Then we can regard this term as literature. If not, then we exclude those works in the category of literature.
So you are ramifying. There are two types of
Literature.
literature.
one is good literature and one is bad literature.
Yeah, one
so
is
we'll
good
get
and bad.
deeper into this later
After.
in the later phase of our discussion or debate. So Rahul, I'll come back to you again.
Okay, in my opinion, there are many formats like poetry, prose, and those all are in
Written forms or
in,
audio form.
in written or audible form are called literature.
Okay.
So I think the basic part of the debate is complete. So we have all shared our opinions about literature, and as far as my opinion is concerned, I have shared my opinion yesterday in the previous video. So you can get back to that video and watch that and know my opinion on literature. However, now we are going to slip into a freestyle debate, and in this format, every participant has the liberty to intercept and dissect and butt in when anyone is giving his opinions. So I will leave the floor to everyone. Anyone who wants to say anything about literature, please welcome.
Yeah, as many books suggest, that literature means simply that everyone appoints that it is all about value judgment, how we perceive any work. It totally
That
depends on
means
our
you
judgment.
want, yeah, obviously, right? It means you want to say ultimately that literature is all about what you want to transfer your views. That means
Not you want to
communication.
transfer your views,
Yeah.
what audience perceives.
Actually,
Yeah.
I have my opinion that every person have different mentality or have his
Different
own
backgrounds.
different background. A person who is from economical background cannot perceive cannot perceive geographical background such complicated manner. Means you will have to take those things according to you. Means something that is new
So
to
I
you.
think Rahul is talking about individual choices.
Yeah, individual
When we're
choices.
talking about literature, he's talking about individual choices.
Obviously, but my point of view, you all are right. But my point of view is any literary work. I'm not talking all about. Just in a very simple thing, if any boy or if any girl try to transfer their views or try to communicate with another person, don't know that person who is standing before you is getting you or not. But if you're trying to communicate with others, it's also a type of literature.
No,
Actually,
I
not
think he
only
is confusing. I
communication.
think Chandan is confusing communication with
Yes.
literature. Suppose here we are talking, we are discussing. So I am transferring my thoughts to all of you and also the audience. So is this literature?
No,
Certainly, this is not
cannot be
literature.
Okay,
So-
Mr. Yeah. I will disagree here. Okay,
Hmm.
Mr. Manish, tell me one thing. What? Suppose that we are reading a novel, we are going through a novel, epic, or anything. We are going through a novel by Shakespeare. So, is there not a communication of thoughts?
Yeah, it's a
Obviously, it's the communication of
But
thoughts.
that
Two
is
things. But
communication
that
of
is a standard
organized thoughts.
Yeah,
That is not freestyle thoughts.
organized thoughts.
Organized
yeah,
thought. So you can say communication of
That's what I
organized
was
thoughts
missing, yeah.
in a format such as which is perceivable by everyone and anyone.
Anyone, yeah.
Suppose I am talking to Rahul, so I am also transferring my thoughts to Rahul, and this thought may be organized. If suppose I am telling him about the problems in my house, or I am telling him about the war in Syria, so the thoughts are organized, but this thought cannot be classified as literature.
Yeah.
Okay,
So this
one
is the
thing,
point.
one thing I want to say, ki information, either news information or any kind of other information, that
Also a
cannot
type
be.
of literature.
No, that
No,
cannot
no,
be
no,
a
these
ki-
are also
kind
a
of
type of
literature.
literature. Promotional literature.
Yeah, so this is
we can
promotional.
classify.
This is propagandist
Yeah.
literature according to some scholars, but however,
We can classify another type
Rahul
of
is
literature.
right. Rahul is right. Rahul is pointing. Rahul is pointing this thing from many scholars because many scholars disagree. Like, as he rightly told, journalistic works and works of non-fiction such as personal opinions, diary,
Yeah, it
or
depends
even
on the
essays.
Always keep
conspiracy
it in
also.
promotional literature.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
promotional literature.
Suppose that anybody is delivering their news. You told about war in Syria. Okay, war in Syria or American
Actually,
policy of
it
economic.
is an
whatever.
international
That is
news.
not-
based
yeah,
on
but
facts.
that is also we may keep it in promotional literature. Isn't
No,
it?
no,
that
news
is-
is
that's
not
another
promotional
form, that's
literature.
another
If
form.
there
News
is
is not
a
promotional.
conversation between two friends,
Okay.
and that friend is discussing that today what we will eat, how we will prepare
So
food,
I think
is it
I
So I
have
am
that-
keeping
that-
a question.
No,
Is
that
a
can be
pro-
based on facts or not.
what?
Yes,
That can be based on facts,
facts,
or not.
that
we
is
don't know.
information.
That
Yeah,
can
we
be
don't know.
propaganda.
Yeah,
also.
information can be literature. Suppose someone is giving you information about a critical work. Suppose Wordsworth is writing how to create poetry,
Yeah,
or how he perceives
your
poetry.
opinion about
So
certain work can be literature.
I am trying to bring back the debate on the written format of literature
Okay.
because communication, news delivery,
Information,
or
these
information,
things
these things are so wide and so deep. We cannot include everything,
Actually-
and at the same time, you cannot exclude
Exclude
everything.
Yeah, we
So
cannot
it is
exclude.
about
This
the
point I
opinion.
would like to
It
raise,
is about your opinion. Suppose a piece of paper. Suppose this is a work by David
Yeah.
Eiches. We all know
It's
this
a
work.
literary work.
Yeah, this is a literary work.
Yeah.
But certainly, for some people, suppose a person from atomic engineering background.
Yeah.
I don't know if such a background exists or not, but a person from atomic engineering background comes across this book. So this book does not hold any merit for him. So for him, this book is just a pile of pieces,
Yeah.
which is having no importance. But for him, it may be possible that a research paper published about nuclear engineering may be classified as literature.
Then I should categorize that information or there is things. If we talk about ideas, if ideas are discussed, if texts are discussed, that can be called literature.
But it depends.
Here, just to
Yeah, but it depends upon the person who is perceiving that literature.
I'm just talking about in
That
daily
means
conversation
we can
or
come
our,
on a common consensus that literature is
I think
based upon two things. First,
literature is all
imagination,
about good
and second,
works.
facts.
Just one
First,
point.
imagination,
Just,
second,
I want to
facts.
add just one point.
Yeah.
As you told that there are two things: literature and economics, and economic literature. So economic literature is all about economic theories, and literature and economics is all about the good works in economics, like the works of T.R. Malthus, not about population, about the social structure, about the moral science.
That must be based upon
literature.
facts.
That is literature in economics.
Yeah.
So literature simply defines the good works and
means
the collection
when,
of intellectual
means
records.
when information constitute itself into knowledge,
Yes.
means having more importance, then it can be called literature.
No. Then my point is, what kind of information Thomas Hardy's Taste of the Arbor Bills delivers? That delivers only imagination. Children talk.
He's
So
also
there
delivering.
might be, what information do you find in Taste of the Arbor Bills?
Actually, we find that how a person deals on that condition.
But that is
means
personal opinion
we
of Thomas Hardy.
Okay,
that is not
maybe
information.
that also allows us to learn the psychology
No,
of a
So we are
person.
talking about English literature.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
are taking just a work by Thomas Hardy.
Yeah.
Suppose we can talk about Premchand's work as well. Suppose
Obviously.
we talk about Godan. So Godan does not pass any information. Godan passes a perception.
Yeah.
Because
Perception and moral
yeah,
value. That means we, in simple words, we can say that is audible. That poetry, drama, horror fiction, fantasy, fable. These all are called literature.
These are the categories
Yes.
of literature.
yeah,
Categories of
categories, various categories in literature. So this is the point, and I think literature is something. Literature is such a vague word, like rightly called by a scholar who was preparing the book of Penguin's literary terms and literary theory. So that scholar classified literature as something. First of all, he defined literature is a vague term. Literature is not a certain term. So literature for me can be garbage for you, and garbage for you can be literature for me. So it varies man to man.
It may be garbage for
cannot
me,
be
it
said.
may be garbage for anyone, but in fact, it is a literature.
Who are you to decide?
Yes.
Who am I to decide?
Yeah.
So we are not the persons to decide what is literature, what is not literature.
Yeah.
So literature is
But
a
overall,
complex thing that cannot be defined.
Yes.
I
But
think
for
we can have a
academic
consensus on
purposes.
this.
Yes, so coming to the point,
Suppose
academic
that
purposes,
this is
when
a
we
book,
come from
huh.
academic
And
background,
this is book, this is
they
literature.
means only the, as Chandan suggests, that the categories, only categories are called literature.
Yeah, in academic, he is right. I think
yeah.
Manish is right about academics.
But literature is a vast term. When we transfer it into the non-academic platform, then
Obviously,
we define it as a
non-academic,
vast
this is a book.
term.
For
Vast
a
term.
person who is null and void about literature, for it that is
I will
a
just
garbage.
give an
For
example.
us, this is literature, literary work.
Yeah.
But for that person,
A
who is
collection of
grazing
poems by
that-
Alfred Lord Tennyson
Yeah.
may be literature for me, Chandan, and Rahul. But suppose a person comes from a scientific background, BSc in mathematics. So for him, the piece of book, the piece of literature which collects all the poems by Lord Byron may not be literature.
Yeah,
So
obviously.
as I am always affirm
That
about
point I
it,
would
that
agree.
depends on personal opinions and choices.
Perceptions.
However, we can come to a larger perspective. Now coming to the modern era, writings of Chetan Bhagat, writings of Durjoy Datta,
Yeah, Arundhati Roy.
and writings of L. James, the girl, the woman who has written her books, like 50 Shades of
Erotic
Grey,
fiction.
in many parts. So we call it erotic fiction. So are these books qualified to be called literature? Certainly they are, but are they valuable to literature? This may be a point of discord. This may be a point of discussion and debates and conjecture.
Yeah.
If any work is not contributing something good
Hmm.
in literature, then it cannot be classified as literature.
No, it's also a matter of discussion. How we can say that it is not delivering any
Exactly.
thoughts.
Or,
Exactly.
or one
I
thing
think Chandan is
more,
right.
what is good and what is bad.
Yeah.
So
we
I
are
think
that is also
there is
I
arbitrary.
think the
there is
term
always
literature is
possibility
judgmental.
of goodness.
The
in
term
everything.
literature is
Yes, all
judgmental.
about
Yeah.
value.
So literature makes us all judgmental.
Judgmental,
Suppose I am
obviously.
telling you, like the works of Durjoy Datta are pieces of crap to me, maybe
But
a person
it may be
who likes
beneficial for anyone. Yeah,
When we
yeah.
talk about liberty in our society,
exactly.
then how we can say that those fiction are wrong or not of use?
Yeah,
That can be
so
also.
I think this
It
is the
varies from
limitation.
person to person.
This is
Yeah.
the limitation that literature brings to us when we try to define literature. Literature is something which is beyond definition. Because when suppose I define literature, you may not agree with me.
Yes.
But we
You can
define
say
literature.
that literature is still undefined. We have a lot of definitions. We
Literature
have lot
has
of-
to be undefined for the
Yeah.
good of literature itself.
Yeah.
When we try to
Yes.
define literature, actually when we try to define something, we try to limit that thing in a judgment, in an order of words. So is that good? So that
No,
is
that is
something
not
that we
good.
have to decide. I
Yeah.
think defining something. We can certainly define atom. Atom can be defined
Yeah.
because atom is
It
not
has certain
abstract.
Yeah.
properties, but literature has no any such
Yeah,
properties.
literature cannot be
It's
said to
no
be
limits. Yeah,
in
no
blacks and
horizons.
whites.
Yeah, beyond
There
horizon.
are many shades of grey
There
between
are
black and
assumptions
white when you
also.
talk about literature.
Yeah.
So I think this discussion is going in a good direction, and I think we will continue it. What do you say?
Yeah, I agree with you, and it must be continued. What
I
about
think it
your
must
opinion?
be concluded in another episode where do we agree or disagree on this. So I think right now we all agree that literature is something beyond definition. What do you say, Rahul?
Yes.
I totally
it
agree
is-
with this.
It
It
is
is
also.
defined. It is still undefined.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is still.
defined, and we
I think
cannot
the definition
define it.
itself is undefined.
Yes.
And
I agree.
in my opinion, nobody can define it.
Exactly. And in my opinion, nobody should dare to define it.
Yeah.
Who are you and
yeah,
me?
yeah.
Who is Rahul and Manish to define literature?
Actually, one thing I should conclude that at least we can define it for ourselves. My
Yeah.
definition
Yeah,
is for
for
me.
ourselves, for
Your
our
my
children.
definition.
Not defined for
Not for your children as well.
Yeah.
You don't have any intellectual property right over your children.
Obviously.
They are on they're
We
all
are no one
opinions.
to define literature for across the globe. We
If
can
we are
define for
defining, then
ourselves.
we are
We
more
can
fine
define
to
for
say.
our aesthetic pleasure, and that's it.
Yeah,
We can
obviously.
get statistic pleasure in
We
defining
cannot define
literature.
literature.
Nothing more than that.
We are no one to define literature for the whole
So, friends,
cosmos.
today we are leaving it at this point, and we are all agreeing that literature is something which is beyond definition, and we are nowhere and we are nobody to define literature. So, we'll see you in the next episode of this interesting debate. I think you all must be enjoying it, and thank you everyone for watching. So, we'll get back to you with our next video. Until then, please keep spreading the word and keep spreading the things that we are doing, because we are doing it for you. We are doing it for the people who are enthusiastic about literature.
And accordingly invite you all, you also will join.
Exactly. So, see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.